part of the mystery is we don't know what is going to happen when species reestablish in a place they used to be, because the place is not the same place. Ecosystems change with or without species. So yeah, I mean, as wolves come back, we've seen in other parts of the country where specifically they'll move into an area with a lot of ungulates like elk that have been used to not having wolves around. So they form these big winter herds, these huge groups of elk, in Great Sand Dunes and in Rocky Mountain, where they're just now talking about reintroducing wolves into Colorado. You see these winter groups of elk that are hundreds, 500, 600, even 800 one time I counted elk in a group. And their impact on the environment is very different when there's wolves around, because the wolves scatter those into smaller groups. And so instead of all the elk just chowing down all the willow in the river valley, they're scattered around. And so it changes the ecosystem structurally just by having wolves back.
In what way? What are they doing? What happens when the elk are moving?
So when the elk are moving, it gives the willow a chance to actually height release. It'll grow again and get higher, which then changes the habitat for species like beavers that come in that are feeding on willows along river valleys. All those things sort of have that cascading effect. What that looks like in the North Cascades, we don't know. We don't know until wolves really reestablish. We don't have the big elk herds. We have deer all over, in winter and summer range, and so, we don't know.
Remains to be seen. Yeah.
Like wolves used to be here, and more than 50,000 of them. How, do you have any information about what that trophic cascade looked like back then?
We don't really know.
No.
You can only imagine how many ungulates must have been here to support that many wolves, right? Certainly elk that were ranging all up the Skagit River Valley, and now part of that's underwater because there's reservoirs there. It was a very different landscape back then.
Cool.